This is Joe Leigh here for MMA by Seconds Out and Seconds Out with the legend of the sport, mixed martial art, the only ever UK champion in the history of UFC. It's a pleasure to speak to you. Before I ask you how you are, if Tai Tuivasa wins this Saturday night, beats Greg Hardy, it's probably going to be a knockout. We're not sure who for. Will you be doing a shoey, Michael?
Listen, Tai Tuivasa is a crazy man. I was in Australia once and he invited me out for a few beers, and I don't scare easily, but I bypassed that one. I was like, I'm out of here, no chance. I'll be working for ESPN. I'll be there. I'll have a suit on. I'll be dressed up. But if Tai Tuivasa was to offer me a shoey, come on, who am I to deny the man?
Wow. I thought you'd say no. I know Joe Rogan's denied it many times. He's not a fan, but...
No, listen, I'm joking. There's no way in hell. There is no way in hell. Never in a million years am I drinking disgusting, warm, flat beer out of a smelly Australian shoe. Do you know what I mean? No offense to all those guys out there in Australia. You know, lovely guys, great people, but your feet stink.
Let's get on to it then. Let's start talking McGregor Poirier. And the first thing I want to ask, I don't want to ask for a prediction just yet, is what Conor McGregor are we going to see? Because in the last fight, we saw a relaxed McGregor, a fatherly McGregor. And in the first one, we saw the confident one. I don't know if you've done your interview with him yet. I know you're scheduled to. But what Conor McGregor do you think we're going to be in for this Saturday night?
Well, it's going to be a very motivated McGregor. I think it's going to be a little angry McGregor as well, a little chip on his shoulder, you know, and that's good. That's good for McGregor. That's the best way. I mean, that fuels him, and we've seen it time and time again. He's very animalistic, and when he's like that, he fights to the best of his ability. You know, at the end of the day, slice it whichever way you want, and McGregor can be very humble in defeat and all the rest of it. But Poirier embarrassed him. Poirier put him to sleep, left him on the floor in the middle of the octagon, you know, and this is something that I'm sure McGregor took very personally. You know, he prides himself on his fighting ability. First of all, his fighting ability, then close second is his bank account, you know, and he can't buy being champion of the world. You have to earn that. So there's a lot of things at stake here. Number one, respect, right? Number two, his ego. He's got to go out there and beat Dustin Poirier. Number three, he's going to show the world that I've still got it. And number four, get a shot at the lightweight title again. So I'm expecting a very motivated McGregor. I'm expecting an angry, nasty McGregor. I'm expecting someone that's left no stone unturned and should come in the best shape of his life. Because if he doesn't do all those things, he's going to get beat again.
Have you spoken to him yet? Have you got to get a feel of what he's feeling this week, if he's motivated?
No, I'm actually not going to be interviewing him after all. But no, I haven't spoken to him yet. I'll be talking to Dana and Dustin now.
How about Dustin Poirier then? What are your thoughts on his motivation getting into this fight? We all know he's so relaxed after the last fight. He sort of said he's not too motivated he loves fighting, but that's it. He's in it, which kind of comes across as he's in a good headspace. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, listen, of course he's in a good headspace. The man he's fighting, he just knocked out a few months ago. You know, it's the best way to be. And this is the best time to get McGregor, you know, because nobody knows how McGregor's going to act to that. And the reality is, and I'm not being disrespectful, McGregor doesn't know either, right? It's only until you get in that locker room and it's an hour or 2 hours or 30 minutes and the pressure's building and you hear the crowd in the background and you're thinking to yourself, man, the last time I stepped into an octagon with this guy, he knocked me out unconscious. And it's only at that time you're going to know or realize how you deal with those fears and that anxiety and the nerves. Now, McGregor's very good in those situations, so I don't think it will be too much of a problem, but trust me, it's going to be there. So for Dustin, I hope that he's not complacent. I hope he doesn't rest on his laurels and think, I've got this. I can knock this man out again. Because McGregor's not a man to take lightly. McGregor's super dangerous in that first round. Second round is also dangerous. So what was the question? What do we expect from Dustin?
Yeah.
I mean, Dustin's going to go out there. He's going to be even more confident than what he was in the second one. Because obviously the second one, he was in McGregor's spot. McGregor this time is dealing with the nerves. Last time it was Poirier. Oh, shit. Last time I fought this guy, I got knocked out cold. Yeah. So this is the weird thing of fighting. It's dealing with these demons, the inner dialogue, the emotions, the nerves, all these things. You know, I go to gyms all over the world and I see fighters in gyms and I think, wow, this man's world class. He could be a world champion one day. But then you look at the man's record and it's terrible. And he can't put it together on fight night. You know, there's no good being a gym fighter. You got to perform on the night. And that's what's the hard part. As we know, McGregor can do that. Poirier can do that. I'm expecting a brilliant fight.
What are your predictions then? Because I know on the BT preview show, you mentioned McGregor round 1, Poirier round 3. If you had to have one of those picks, who's going to win, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to know. For anybody to sit here and say they know, they're full of it. You know, it's and when you look at them both, again, there is a possibility that McGregor knocks him out in the first round. He certainly landed with some good left hands in the second fight. And Poirier himself even said, I was rocked, I was hurt at one point, which I'm sure he was. So who knows? I mean, I really don't know. But if you wanted me to make a pick, I'll probably say Poirier. Poirier is still probably a little bit hungrier. Now, of course, McGregor's hungry. I'm sure he is. He wants that respect. He wants to fight for the title. He wants to probably retire champion of the world. And he has to earn that. All the money in the world cannot buy that. But still, if you want a prediction, I do think McGregor could knock him out in the first round, maybe even the second. But if you put a gun to my head and said which one, I'll say Poirier. Round 3. Okay,
Poirier round 3. Let's move on just quickly to crossover fights, because obviously someone you previously fought, Anderson Silva, has recently beaten Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And you've sort of dabbled with the potential of doing it. You said potentially you'd fight Tony Bellew. Although it would be a great fight to see you fight Anderson Silva, from a fan's perspective, the way you left it in the UFC, the drama with the end of the 3rd round, the flying knee, and then you win in that, I don't think I'd like to see it. But would you fight Anderson Silva in a boxing ring?
Absolutely, I would.
Would you?
Well, put it like this: I outboxed him when we fought in an MMA cage. I outboxed him. So you want to, you know, he caught me with some knees and he got me with some good kicks and whatnot. But I outboxed him. The reality is right now, though, I'm retired. My body can't take it. I mean, can you see that swelling on my wrist? I think I've got a broken wrist right now. I can pop this eyeball out. I've got 2 fake knees. I had neck surgery in January. I've got to have 2 more neck surgeries. So the toll of fighting for so many years is definitely, whatever. I'm feeling the pressure. My body's took a lot of damage over the years. And, but you never know. You never know. Never say never, but more than likely not.
Yeah, because that was like such a dream fight. Didn't you get the call on like Christmas Eve to fight Anderson Silva or something like that?
Yeah, that's right. I was supposed to be fighting Gegard Mousasi.
Yeah.
And then Christmas Eve, Dana calls me. And I'm like, oh, Dana's calling me on Christmas Eve. That's a bit weird. Hey, what's up, Dana? I said, all right, Merry Christmas. I said, what's going on? He says, you're fighting Anderson Silva. Because he knew I always wanted to fight him. So, yeah, I mean, for me at that moment in time, that was my world title fight. I had to fought for the belt. But fighting Anderson in London, for me, it didn't get any better than that.
2 more questions then. First of all, I want to talk about the Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Thompson. Just give us an overview on that and who you think could come out victorious.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Burns has done incredible things. Even in the Kamaru Usman fight, he nearly had that fight won in the first round, and I couldn't believe it. And I like Gilbert a lot. He's such a nice person. He is. He's such a great example. He's a great martial artist, excellent father, knockout power in his hands, great team. World-class jiu-jitsu, powerful, explosive takedowns. On the flip side, Wonderboy Thompson has such a unique style. You know, he's a very, very tough nut to crack. The way he fights, he's so good at getting in and out, and he's tall and he's longer. And on top of having the longer reach, he also uses his legs a lot. He can use his legs as a jab. So for those reasons, I think it's going to be a tough night at the office for Gilbert Burns, you know, and maybe I'm a little bit blinded because I'm a romantic bastard and I want Wonderboy to get a shot at the title because I think he deserves it. But I honestly think Burns is going to have a tough time getting on the inside to do any kind of work. Now, listen, that doesn't mean that I'm going to be right. You know, Burns is very, very good. I think Burns is going to probably try and take him down. He's got to try and take him down because if Wonderboy has his way and dances around the octagon, which he can do all night standing on his head, it's going to be a frustrating night for Gilbert Burns. So I'm leaning towards Gilbert Burns. Sorry, pardon me, Wonderboy Thompson, but you never know.
If Wonderboy wins, does he deserve a shot more than Leon Edwards?
I think so.
Really?
Oh, sorry, more than Leon Edwards. No,
Yeah,
he doesn't.
I'm a biased Brummy as well.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. I like Wonderboy. I want to see him fight for the belt, but the reality is, I mean, Masvidal, he deserves to be ahead of Masvidal. He deserves to be ahead of Covington. I saw this thing he said the other day. He said all these other people, they've already fought the champ. And I guess Leon has, but it was a long, long time ago.
Saw that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I agree with what he said. But to be fair, you know, what Leon's done warrants a shot at the belt 100%, you know, and I think maybe, I don't know. I just feel that the way the last round of the Diaz fight ended, it just messed up the narrative. And even though Leon went out there and beat him soundly throughout 4.5 rounds, for some reason, the cult-like status that Nate Diaz has, just because he landed one good punch, it kind of changed the narrative of the fight to the fans, which is nonsense. You know, I think he probably still might have even won that round.
Yeah.
You know, so you don't win a 5-round fight by landing one good shot, right? But unfortunately, that did happen, and it just kind of changed the narrative of the fight for some weird reason. Yeah, Leon deserves a shot at the belt. Simple as that. And if he doesn't fight the belt next, then it has to be Jorge Masvidal. I don't understand why that fight hasn't taken place either. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's not my promotion. I don't call the shots.
And I said I'd love you to leave the Anderson Silva fight in the UFC, but one fight I'd love to see you have in a boxing ring is Vitor Belfort. Listen, I know you don't like. I think I've heard you say you wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire.
Correct.
I think if I'm right, he's fighting Oscar De La Hoya. Would you fight Vitor Belfort or even Oscar De La Hoya?
Yeah, you know, give me a baseball bat and I'd happily stick it over his head. No, I'm kidding, of course. Yeah. No, listen, I'm retired. I'm not looking for that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, fair play. Vitor's going to go out and make some money. Vitor Belfort is a piece of shit. So there you go. What more do you want me to say? There's how I feel about the guy.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure, it really has. And hopefully, we'll catch up sometime in the near future, man. Thank you.
Sounds good, mate. All the best, pal.